Good morning, everyone. Feels good to be back today after a week of suspension. Um, Blows my mind. They demonetized me, they suspended me. So I got to be a good boy, so to speak. It blows my mind how other channels can get these high up interviews of people and all this stuff, and here's my little old channel ignored and uh, hardly any views. But I appreciate the ones who are real watching this. And you have to figure, and me and Brian too were discussing this the other day. So I got 3,500 subscribers in one day and they've never watched a video. And Brian too said that they do that to make it look like I'm some popular person where people won't watch my stuff. Because, the basic facts is if you're getting millions of views or you're getting thousands and thousands of views, more than likely you've been compromised. Um, Uh, and I'm just letting you know, I had a chance to interview somebody and I turned them down. Uh, uh, you know, and there's no offense to them. I just really think if I don't trust them, I consider myself, like I'm responsible for my viewers and I'm responsible for the stuff I expose them to, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So content, uh, people in the community that might be preying on TIs, and some prominent person wanted to interview me the other day, and I turned them down. Not because I didn't want to tell my story. I've told my story several places, but because I don't support. You know, I've heard too many bad things, and I just don't support that. So for me, I'm just letting you know. For me, it's not about views. It's not about how. It's not a show for me. This is not a game, a show. This is serious. This is real life targeting. You got homeless people running around right now, blacklisted, nobody to help them, and barely getting to eat. I was there 3 or 4 years straight, so I know. This is real serious, and to to let somebody come on the show that's going to prey on people, or to do an interview with somebody who support something that you know hurts TIs. I just can't. I'm not going to be a part of it. I don't care how popular I will become. So I guess I'll stay unpopular, right? But that's okay. Uh, so anyway, Brian too has asked me to share something with y'all. A new way that they map out your brain. So um, I'm going to share it. It's called data sets. And I will explain as I go through kind of what he explained to me. So yeah, so there's even AI people who act like real people in the comments, and they're really AI computer bots um, getting responses from you, mapping out your brain. That's just what he said, and I kind of believe that to a point. There's definitely bots, definitely bots. Now, are they mapping out your brain from responses? Probably. Um, I'm not going to mention one name because so YouTube. If you mention certain people's names on YouTube and they got a channel, it will automatically let them know. Uh, but well, I'll say his name, Chief Handler. He's always putting stuff under my stuff. But I think I blocked him and pretty much got him blocked. But I really think he does that for reactions, for mapping your brain out. Definitely. Also, I'm editing a video. It's taken me a while, but there's a video that's for entertainment purposes only, where I built a stun gun, EMP. I've started trying it. I can definitely feel, you don't get shocked like they say. You don't get shocked doing it. So don't think you get shocked. So I'm trying it. I'll try anything. So far I've done just a little bit. So I'm gonna eventually go. I got this is the video I'm editing. Me and Andrew putting this together, and I'm not gonna say no more about it, but um, so yeah, so I'm editing that video right now as we speak. I have to listen to it. It's 48 minutes long. I have to listen to every word. Some people can say certain words on their channel, and I can't say it because they'll ban me. So, um, that's the day in the life being a TI. Okay, so again, thank all my supporters that's hanging in there with me through waiting on me to come off suspension, to words of encouragement in the comments when they don't see me in a while, checking on me. Really, really much appreciated. Okay, how American intelligence agencies use re-edited and re-uploaded Christian content and other content as a data set, metric for verification for mind control. AI systems are taking human created Christian and other content, such as pastors' previous sermons on the internet, and using it as the data set, re editing it, and uploading that content back to social media for training, research, and development in mind control artificial technologies. Um, now, let's see, he gives an example. And of course, the video is unavailable. Hold on. The individual a simulated reality had some very good stuff, and I will be taking some of that stuff that I used from him off back in the day. I have to do that to try to remonetize my channel too, because monetization did help pay for Zoom, helped pay for my video editing app. It just helps pay for stuff. Zoom just went up $1. They done away with Skype. There's no way to do interviews and stuff on a platform without without paying. So that's basically what it covered, about $50 a month, if that. So I'm hoping I can get that back. But anyway, so he's a perfect example, a simulated reality Livingstone. Perfect information, a lot of good information. And Brian too's in some of it, and other people are in some of it. So listen, a simulated reality YouTube channel is a perfect example of AI generated content using previous human created videos. So they'll take one of my videos, or if you go to the simulated reality, I wouldn't advise doing it, but if you just want to see, they'll play music in the background, have AI, and they'll have me, Brian too, or somebody talking. Or these preachers, instead of them standing up at a sermon talking, they'll put music in the background, they'll put visuals instead of the preacher, and it's mapping out your brain and creating cognitive model of your brain. For ARN, it's integrated back. What they're doing is they're capturing the target individual's attention and provoking those target individuals into emotional and intellectual synaptic responses, which can be remotely measured, integrated back into remote neural monitor data. They're trying to create digital twins of everybody. Okay, it does this in real time as it monitors the brainwaves of a TI to deceive and manipulate targets to remotely measure synaptic responses, brainwaves of the target individual's brain, which it then can be integrated back in remote neuron data. I just said that. So here's what he said. For example, I was reading, and he told me I could post this. So, for example, I was reading and doing a Bible study with an online Bible, freebiblecommentary.org, and came across a topic that spoke of mystery of evil, which piqued my interest. The supercomputer picked up on that response and immediately fabricated, fashioned, and uploaded a portion of a previous sermon by John MacArthur and retitled it as Mysterious Evil, so that as soon as I opened my YouTube channel homepage, it was the first video he saw. He said this has been going on years, targeting his faith and belief system. He says the artificial intelligence responds to the emotional state of the target with thought-triggered attacks to generate emotional, intellectual, synaptic responses from the brain of the mind control victims for whole brain emulation, to break the brain of the mind control victim down to the synaptic level. It's done to achieve direct behavioral control over mind control victims or to mind hobble and unalive them. Whole brain emulation means to fragment the mind, persona, and psyche of the victims into coherent patterns of thought for mind upload or brain upload, sometimes called mind copying or mind transfer, which is the remote neural process of scanning the mental state, including long-term memory and self of a particular person's brain substrate, will, intellect, and emotion, and copying it to a computer. The computer can then run a simulation model of the brain's information processing, etc., such that it would respond in essentially the same way as the original brain. Example given, indistinguishable from the brain for all the relevant purposes. So, such that it would respond in essentially the same way as the original brain, and you wouldn't be able to distinguish it from the brain for all relevant purposes, and experience in having a conscious mind. By speeding up the cognitive model, copycat, parallel, twin personality, they can then turn the sweetest, kindest, most moral person on earth into the worst satanic monster imaginable, or slow down the cognitive model inside the exascale supercomputer's database and turn the finest athlete into a human vegetable. They don't care who gets hurt or unalived. The book of Revelation states, Antichrist will speak out against the Most High and will wear down the saints of the highest one, and he will intend to make alterations in times and in law. And they, Christians, will be given, followers of Christ, I don't like that word, Christians, it gets way too religious, will be given into into his hand for a time, times and a half a time, Revelations 12:6. Wear down in the original Bible text, Greek, means to fragment. So the Bible's telling us thousands of years ago exactly how this AI technology works. To fragment a person's human soul, will, intellect, and emotion. And some people may say, hey, you said Greek. I thought it was Hebrew. New Testament's Greek in the concordance. Old Testament's Hebrew. Okay, so Antichrist will use artificial superintelligence systems of remote neural networks of AI supercomputers for the New World Order to achieve total mind control and fragment, mind hobble, and unalive the true people or followers of Christ who remain loyal to God and refuse to accept this new AI demigod. How? By pulses of energy. The Bible calls it beheading in the book of Revelation. In Revelations 24, the beast, representing the New World Order, will behead individuals who refuse to worship the beast or its image, and those who do not accept its mark, brain-to-cloud interface. The Internet of Bodies that governments are building into a biological blockchain via global internet and intranet networks is going to tie into and eventually become the foundation of our new digital financial system. This Internet of Bodies is already being used in China as a means of control, financial control. Remember, there are three interfaces they're using: brain-to-computer interface, electronic brain-to-brain interface, brain-to-cloud interface. This brain-to-cloud interface via Internet of Bodies composed of biological blockchains will be the mark of the beast. Okay. And Brian, too, asked me to share that. He felt it was very important to get out to y'all. As y'all know, he's very censored as well. So anyway, my first video since I'm back. I hope y'all got something out of it. And I really, people can speculate, whatever it is. I ask, this is his information. So, if you have any questions with that, you can come to me and I'll ask him about it. Or if you know him, you can ask him about it. I trust his judgment, and so that's why I put it out there. I've known him a long time. He actually sent me this book. Well, he sent us a bunch of books, and we send it to other TIs when we get done with it. And then when we get done with it and send it to other TIs, he sends us another book. Kind of like a book thing going on with TIs. And this is a real good devotion. Imagine Heaven devotion. About 100 Reflections to Bring Heaven into Your Life Today by John Burke. He's an author that writes on near-death experiences. So anyway, God bless all TIs and all mind control victims, all satanic ritual abuse victims, anybody, MK Ultra survivors, anybody like that in any kind of experimental program. God bless them, look after them, help them find their next meal if they need it, or whatever it might be. Amen. God bless.